All right, boys and girls, it's time to talk about those busts for fantasy basketball. But what's key is what, Dustin?
They're not all going to do terrible. We just think they're going too early in drafts, so that's why it's bust / overvalued.
So it's, based on where their ADP is, we just don't like them.
But still early. So DraftKings, sign up. Use promo code FST. Follow the link in the card or in the description. Sign up, deposit at least $5 or more. They'll give you an entry into a free game. And if you sign up during October, we'll give you a Smack Talk shirt, which I know you want. Who doesn't like a free shirt?
It's got sleeve print.
And it has a sleeve print. And you do have to pay extra for that, because that's how much we like our fans.
We care about you.
We could leave the sleeve print off.
Yeah,
but we pay the extra money.
Exactly.
Because we know you guys
You're
like
awesome. That's why. It's because you out there, you're awesome. I'm going to start, Dustin. I am going to start, and I am going to talk about Andre Iguodala. Here's the thing. He did great in the NBA Finals. He checked LeBron. He was scoring, getting boards, doing great. Fantasy basketball, though, that's a season-long thing, and last season, he averaged 7 points, 3 boards, and 3 assists. Not fantasy quality. Do not take Andre on any teams. Hate to say it.
Jaren Sullinger's first guy I'm going to talk about, and I was really high on him coming into last year. He finally got the situation that he needed to play some minutes, and he did pretty well. But guess what? David Lee's in town now, and David Lee is still a very good basketball player, even though he couldn't find the court very much in Golden State. But I think he does beat out Sullinger, which makes it not a very good situation for him.
All right, next guy I'm going to talk about is the most overplayed role player in the NBA. Glad the Bullets didn't re-sign him and let him go. Good move, Ernie Grunfeld. That is Trevor Ariza for the Houston Rockets. Here's the thing. They got Harden, Howard, and now Ty Lawson there. So I don't think there's a lot of points to go around. And furthermore, the reason that Ariza got paid was because he had great percentages. That's really because John Wall makes everyone have better percentages. He only shot 40% from the field last year and 35 from 3. Don't like that much. Do not overpay for Trevor Ariza like the Rockets did. Ooh, now it all tied in.
Next, we got Meyers Leonard out there with Portland. I mean, here's the thing. I am expecting very little from him this year. And when you look at where he's ranked in some rankings, he's in the top 100, and that is not worth it in my opinion. And I think a lot of people are looking at that Portland lineup and being like, oh, someone's got to step up. I've heard of Meyers Leonard before. It's got to be him. I don't think so. I think there's guys out there. There's Plumlee. There's Vonleh. They have other options. Meyers Leonard is not that good at basketball. And he's not that good at fantasy basketball. He might be a big guy that can run around for a little while, give him some solid minutes.
I get you.
He's don't get excited about him.
All right, if you're watching, challenge Dustin to a game of one-on-one. If you win, I'll give you $100.
Are you talking to Meyers Leonard?
I am.
A guy that's
If anyone out there knows Meyers Leonard, please send this to him. I would love that.
Oh,
Nothing more than I'd love to get a response from
him.
him.
He's a foot taller than me.
Whatever, you're hating on him. And then you get a free shot on Dustin as well.
That's fine.
All right, DeMarre, you gotta wear gloves now. All right, DeMarre Carroll's the next guy I'm talking about. He's on the Toronto Raptors. And here's the thing about Carroll. I liked him last year because he was pretty much a pickup, and he was on the Hawks, and he got a lot of stuff, and he did things. But now, the hype's getting a little too much on him, I feel. And for a guy that averaged 12 points, 5 boards, it's just not the guy that I'm really looking for in my fantasy roster.
Next, we got Mirotic for the Bulls.
Bulls.
So when you think about what we talk about with fantasy, it's how good are you and how many minutes do you play? He is good, but when you look at that lineup, it's too crowded. You got Noah, you got Gibson, you got Gasol. I just don't think he's going to play enough minutes unless one of those guys gets hurt. That's why I think he's getting overdrafted. I mean, he's going in the middle rounds right now. I think it's too early for a guy that's going to have a hard time getting on the floor.
So Mark Cuban finally got Deron Williams. He's been wanting him and wanting him for years. And the sad thing is, he got the old Deron Williams. And
he needed 5 years ago.
Yeah, Deron Williams is just, he's gotten steadily worse. And the problem with him in fantasy is he's the perfect panic round middle guy, right? Middle round, don't know who to take. You should be taking younger with upside, but you're like, oh, I know this guy. Oh, he used to be good back in the day, and I'm going to grab him. And you know what? He ain't the same player anymore. So just keep that in mind.
Khris Middleton's the next guy I want to talk about with Milwaukee. I mean, this guy is good. And people are going to remember how he finished the year, and you look at his split stats. He had some really good stats. But you need to look at how many minutes he played when he was blowing up. Because he was averaging about 37 minutes a game, and that's just not sustainable. Yeah, little stretches if you're trying to make a push at the end of the season, fine, or you got some injuries and you got it's just not good coaching to play your best players that much during the regular season. So that's why. I mean, I think don't just remember what he did when he was playing 37 minutes, because he's probably only going to average about 32 or so. So those 5 minutes do make a big difference.
All right, last guy I'm talking about is Noel for the 76ers, and I was shocked to see Dustin allow this, because Dustin loves these type of guys, right? And especially him, because he's crazy. He could get you 2 blocks and 2 steals a game.
I love that.
Who doesn't? But some people have him ranked inside the top 25.
I don't love that.
Don't love that. Can't love that. I mean, he's probably going to be, he could be a double-double guy with the 2, but is it unrealistic to think he could average only 8 points and 8 boards? I mean, that could happen. And even if he does, let's say 9-9 or even 10-10, top 25?
I think he'll be around 12, 10, 2-2. But even still,
I don't think he averages 10 boards.
The guys that you're taking him
25?
over at that point,
it's crazy.
It's too crazy. I think people are getting too excited about him, and it makes me mad, because that means he's not going to be on my team, and I wanted him to be, but I'm not paying that price tag.
But then he'll be terrible, and you'll buy low on him because you trade like you're a maniac. So don't worry.
I'll still try to. Nicolas Batum, I want to talk about. He's got a new home in Charlotte, and I think that's skewing people. I don't know what people are thinking in terms of. I mean, I've always been a big Batum fan, just because he does a little bit of everything, but he's just been a lot like Deron Williams, like just slowly just getting worse and worse, and I don't necessarily think a new home's going to revive him. So he's going early middle rounds, and again, it's just the other guys that are going to be available when you're thinking about drafting Batum. It's going to be really hard for me to pull the trigger on a guy like Batum at that point. So there you go.
So that's it. Dustin, go ahead and close, and magically at some point bring up the subscribe button here for everybody.
So those are our busts. Remember, /overvalued. All these guys should be drafted. Even Meyers Leonard should be drafted, with your last pick. But subscribe to our channel. Get into DraftKings. I know you want a shirt. We want to send you a shirt. So do that. Get in the forums if you got any questions. I'm sure you're a nice guy, Myers. I'm sure.
Oh, please, somebody show it to him. Somebody show him that Dustin said he's terrible at basketball. I mean, somebody out. Actually, who knows Meyers Leonard? I mean,
he's a big dude.
He's got like 6 friends, maybe.
I'm so good at throwing.
I bet Meyers Leonard couldn't do that. That's right, Meyers Leonard. That's what Dustin says about you. Dustin hates you. Says you're terrible. He does.
Wow.
2, 4, 2.
Wow.